Welcome back to another episode of Beer Culture. Here with Trooper and Jose.
What's up? What's up?
And tonight we're drinking Serendipity from New Glarus, out of New Glarus, Wisconsin. It's apples and cherries and cranberries. It's a fruit beer. It comes in at 4%, and it's really good.
We're challenging my fruit beer palate tonight.
So somebody doesn't like fruit beers over here.
Cheers,
Cheers,
the
guys.
hell out of this one.
That is tasty.
Oh, man. Jose, thanks for having us tonight.
You're welcome. It's a pleasure to have you guys here.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had this in my cellar. I just decided today was a good night to pop it up.
It's really good. Now, the name New Glarus is where it's from, right? Like
Right.
New Glarus,
New Glarus, Wisconsin.
Wisconsin, okay. And we had this before. Didn't we have it with Sarge?
No, that
other
one was one of their other ones. It was the Wisconsin Belgian Red.
Belgian Red.
Yeah.
Okay.
And that one, that one there was something issue they couldn't make that one. It was
Yeah, I think they had a low crop yield with cherries.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
they actually substituted their year. I think they brewed that one seasonally, so they brewed Serendipity, and hence the name Serendipity. Just happened by chance.
Serendipity by chance. Very good. Wow.
Came up with the idea
classic.
to brew this.
So-
They had a stronger apple yield, crop yield, so it's apples, cranberries, and cherries, but not as much cherries.
Now,
as
do they brew it
beer
consistently now, or is it was that one time and when it's gone, it's gone?
I think it was. I haven't done any research on it, but looking at their website where they have their different, their regular series and their limited series, it's down on the ones like, hey, we brewed this one time, and
Wow.
if you were lucky enough to get a bottle of it, then,
Well, we're lucky
congratulations.
enough,
Yeah.
thanks to Jose. That's
I
awesome.
guess it was a great, something great came out of something bad, not them not having a
Yeah.
good cherry
we
yield.
talked the other night with Aaron
Mhm.
from the Beer Goddess, and we were drinking a sour. And it was probably the first sour that I ever really tried to wrap my brain around, and it was pretty phenomenal. Pretty,
Free from Odell.
yeah, free from Odell was phenomenal. I really like this. It's the tart.
Yeah, this
It's
one's
that
not.
sweet tart, I love that kind of candy. I love that kind of tartness. Key lime pie, lemon
Right.
tarts.
Right.
I love that, man.
This one's
really
not.
enjoying it.
Yeah, this one's not like a sour like that Freak was, but it does have
God.
that tartness to it.
I can see this starting to work into our regular lineups. Seriously, sours and tarts and sweets, like this is going to start working in there.
Yeah.
It's finally something besides an IPA and a stout and a big red that my brain's like,
Yeah,
I must
I'm
have
not sure
that,
if this
you know?
is brewed in a or aged in a barrel at all. Do you know if they
I'm
do
not.
barrel aging?
I'm not sure if it is or not. I haven't read that much about it. I don't really get a whole lot of barrel flavor
No.
out of it.
No, I don't think so.
Any oak or anything.
It says aged in oak, so who knows what that really means?
Aged in oak.
Maybe oak chips or
Yeah.
I loved using oak chip as a home brewer.
yeah.
I love that. I love tossing oak chips in there and just letting it soak on the top. Let it be the first thing that wood encountered with my beer.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
when you pull those oak chips out, I throw them to the side, and then like kind of smell them later. And be like, man, they smell so good.
Yeah, I'm almost getting like a fruit soda taste to this, not like
It
in a
is.
bad way.
Yeah.
In a good way.
It's
yeah,
very
no,
refreshing.
Very refreshing. And at 4%, to all you other beer drinkers out there, I can drink 4% all day.
Yeah.
Okay? I can drink 4%, jog, come back, drink it again. Like, that's nothing to me. 4%
And
is nothing.
this is as good, if not maybe better, to me than the Wisconsin Belgian Red. I mean, this was the first New Glarus beer. No, I'm sorry. Their strawberry rhubarb was the first New Glarus beer that I had. And that one, have you had that one?
I haven't tried that one. I think that one's a fairly new
I think it is.
style, or not style, beer for them. right?
Yeah. And it's good, like drinking strawberry rhubarb.
It's on
pie,
point.
man. It's
Now-
so good.
Let's talk a little bit about New Glarus. This is their thing, right? They did brew fruit style.
They do. They also have IPAs. I haven't gone too far into their line to see
Yeah.
what they're all about, but I do know they have a range of styles they brew. But I think they're most well known for the fruit beers.
Well, this show, Jose, is really about beer culture. Finding those niches
Right.
where somebody's trying to just create something a little different. It's really growing the body and the mind of beer, craft beer. And we might need to look into New Glarus a little bit and do a whole shoot on that.
Yeah, from what I know, the only way you could get this beer is living in Wisconsin. I don't think they distribute outside the states.
Or being a beer trader.
Or being a beer trader.
As we all are. Beer pirates, I like to call it. Beer piracy.
Yeah, well, I mean, yes, and it's not, we're not really pirates because we're not just stealing it from the people.
Yeah, but you gotta think like that. It feels that way. Well, you're not stealing, but you're barter trading, you know? You're barter trading and using an illegal system to get it.
That's true.
Don't
Well,
be offended, people.
technically it's not illegal through FedEx and UPS.
Absolutely.
It's illegal to the post office, so don't use the post office. But,
Yeah, never use the post office.
It's kind of like don't ask, don't tell.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's,
Yeah.
it's against their policy.
Well, let's talk about that. I mean, you know, I know me and you, Jose, we both ship through.
Right.
I'm a FedEx guy.
Me too. I have
Okay.
a FedEx account.
And a couple of times they've asked me, what do you got? And both times I've said, jelly. That's my go-to
That was
answer.
genius.
Hey,
Jelly.
Jelly doesn't slosh around like that.
Well,
You
one
never
way
know, it's not
you don't get those
solidified yet.
questions
Still getting there.
is get a FedEx account and
Ship from home.
print out a label on your printer, leave it at your doorstep, go to work, and by the end of the day, you'll have your package off to your trade partner. So,
Off to your trade partner. Very nicely said. Very good. Think of them as a partner. You know, give them that love and respect.
sure.
Now, are you on any of the trade sites? Or are you on?
I've done a couple trades on Rate Beer.
Okay.
I like Beer Advocate a little more,
Okay.
and I've used more trades through Beer Advocate.
Mhm.
But I've kept a couple of trade partners in
Very good.
good contact. Like I got a Cigar City guy that'll ship me
Nice.
whatever I want
Nice.
from Cigar City.
Fuck yeah.
And,
It's a Cigar City, baby.
We've done about 4 or 5 trades,
Nice.
so I take care of him. He takes care of
We,
me.
we just established a Foothills Brewing trade partner out of North Carolina. We're very excited. And I got a guy that I met on Craigslist. I used to use Rate Beer, and then I had a bad experience with somebody where my beer got lost going to them, and then they didn't want to ship to me, and I got kind of burned on a trade. I found a guy on Craigslist that ships me out of Illinois, so I'm pretty excited about that because he's the guy that shipped me my first Zombie Dust, my first Hop Slam, and
Well, I guess that's the first. I've never heard anyone trading on Craigslist.
we don't trade there anymore.
Whatever
We don't trade
works.
anymore, yeah. And I met somebody on Craigslist and it didn't end up in a weird relationship, so
Yeah,
that's
what were you doing
cool.
on Craigslist in the first place?
Nothing weird. I wasn't doing anything weird on Craigslist, so I was just searching for friends.
Yeah.
Craigslist. All you have to do is say it's Craigslist and it's creepy.
Yeah.
Once you say Craigslist, did you say
should
Craigslist
be.
creepy?
It should just be called Creepy List.
Creepy list. That's the new name for it. It should just be called fucking creepy list. That's awesome.
Well,
Jose, this beer is awesome. It's stellar.
yeah, thanks a lot for opening this one, man. This
Yeah.
is
Yeah, for sure.
excellent.
We're gonna have to move into the next beer and keep talking about trading.
Welcome back, kids. Beer Culture, Trooper, Jose, and I'm Justin. And we're drinking what smells like an excellent IPA that Jose just opened for us.
Okay. You know I get obsessive when I start watching all the other Webshow beer things ever. As we build this show, I'm obsessively trying to see what everybody else is doing. And they used the word today on New Brew Thursday. They used the word dank. And I was like, damn, it'd be great to have an IPA where I could think that word.
There you go.
Holy
man.
moly.
This is it.
That is dank,
It's
Jose.
even in the name.
So this is what we're drinking today is
Funky, man.
Project Dank out of Albuquerque, New Mexico, brewed by La Cumbre Brewing Company. Big special thanks to Kevin, which goes by the name of Shunt Stout on Beer Advocate. He shipped this to me. We actually got it today. It was bottled on the 8th of January, so this is super fresh. Barely been in the bottle for about a week.
In the bottle for a week. It's a newborn baby.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Newborn baby IPA.
So from what I've read from their website, La Cumbre brews several different versions of this beer. Each batch is a different recipe. This one, from what I read on Beer Advocate, it has Citra, Nelson, a little bit of Simcoe, I believe, and some experimental hops.
There's some experimental hops in there that are
Yeah.
funky.
It smells amazing. It's
Yeah,
definitely what it
it's-
is.
Thank you so much for busting out something that both of us are just never had and we're all very impressed with. Like that is,
Well, I'm getting like mango.
oh, it's crazy.
almost like high grade weed.
But you know,
Thing.
high grade marijuana in
Exactly
there.
what it smells like.
If I get the munchies from drinking this, I'm just saying you better have some cookies in here because I love cookies. All right.
So what is it, 7.5% ABV?
I think it was 7 and change. 7.5. Yeah.
Wow.
Okay. It starts out kind of woody but super fruity. But there's like it's like a fruit pine, right? It's like a fruit pine. You know, there's that piney piece to it.
I almost want to say like kind of like a cigar box, like cedar. So
Yeah.
Yes, thank you. Yes.
Wooden,
Yeah.
A good wood fragrance.
the wood
But
fragrance.
it's
or
super
aromatics are
fruity.
coming out.
They certainly get the name right.
Yeah, it's in the short time we've been doing this show, we've tried a lot of different beers.
Yeah.
I have to say that's probably my most favorite IPA we busted out. I don't know. What was the Three Floyds?
The Dreadnought.
Yeah, it was pretty fucking good.
Yeah.
I can't put that down.
No.
It's my second favorite IPA ever right now. Because the Dreadnought was, wow, really good.
But the Dreadnought was a double IPA, so.
And it was, yeah, and for a single IPA, that is pretty flavorful. There's
Yeah.
a lot going on. It's
Yeah.
full palate. Like it's all the glands all the way down. It's, I wonder what the wife thinks of this beer, because I know somewhere off camera now she's drinking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, the owner, Jeff Irway, was an awesome brewer. I've been a fan of his beer since about 2005, where he used to work at a brew pub in Albuquerque by the name
Okay.
of Chapman River.
Okay.
After a few years there, he opened up his own place, the Coomber.
It's a great name.
And I
It's
believe
phenomenal artwork.
Daniel Jaramillo is his head brewer, which has worked at a couple of different brewing establishments in Albuquerque. Both are awesome brewers, love all their beers, and wish they still lived there so I could drink these on a regular basis.
Yeah.
Now, is all their artwork that eclectic? That just
Yeah,
that's pretty unique. That's
they have some pretty
impressive.
unique artwork. They don't release too many bottles. They do tall cans, 16-ounce tall cans of their flagship
I would
IPA.
love to see their can beer. I love
Elevated
can art.
IPA.
I think can art is better than bottle art by all means.
This is actually my first bottle from them. I usually drink their
I have
cans.
to challenge you right now and say we want to shoot another episode with just their beer, like 2 or 3 of their
Yeah, I
beers.
could definitely make that
We're
happen.
gonna make it happen because we're traders, right? We're,
Plenty of Albuquerque
we're beer
content.
pirates. Beer pirates.
Make it happen.
Ah, let's make that happen.
Definitely be
And
interested to try
we're gonna
some
send
more
this
beers.
link to their Facebook and their website, you know, and we're gonna send it to you. We want you to send it to them as well. 'Cause
Right on.
we think their beer is super impressive. Like
Yeah,
that's,
if the rest of them are as good as this one, man.
it's
They're doing
ridiculous.
something right.
There is just a piney, crazy wood smell that just almost makes me back up for a minute. Oh, but the fruit comes through in the flavor.
Yeah, that's excellent.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
It's so good, man. We ain't talked about nothing about this beer, and that's
I
so
know.
rare for us. We
Yeah,
usually jump into so many other
Yeah,
conversations.
well, usually we're not
Holy
just blown away by
Yeah.
the beer. I mean, usually,
Right, like,
usually
oh
it's
my
a beer
God.
that at least one of us have had before. We've
Wow.
none of us have ever had this
Man.
before.
I don't know if
Let's
I
ask
want
this.
to. I
What
want
would
to
you
pour you
do?
guys my
Okay.
older.
What would you do to have this beer again? I'd fight both of you.
I think we could take you.
All I have to do is walk
Mold.
up to my kitchen counter because I have 3 bottles left.
Damn it! You win. That was too
I don't have
easy.
to do much.
That was too fast. That was too
Get up.
fast.
I'll put my chair.
Oh man, yeah, this is.
I would send these guys any beer they want out of California that I could get at a reasonable price.
Well, if they're making beer like this, they don't want to.
They don't want you to come for it. They're like, fuck you.
Yeah.
If I remember correctly, the head brewer or brewmaster owner, he's actually a lager guy. So
Really?
yeah,
Really? The guy that brewed this is a lager guy.
I believe so, if I'm not mistaken.
He's got to hate this beer.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Hmm.
That beer grows on you. That's a beer that when you first taste it, you have to back up and be like, I'm not sure if that's okay or not.
Yeah.
But halfway
it's pretty
through
amazing.
it, you're like, oh yeah, IPAs I've had before this are not really that good. Like it just kicks in. And you know, I usually don't, you know this about me, I usually don't like beers that pale. Like I usually get a little more fond of beers that are darker, getting into
Yeah.
darker hues. That has a lot of mouthfeel and a lot of body for such a lighter beer.
Well, it's the same. It's like the Surly Abrasive.
Yeah,
It's got a lot more
that was a pretty.
there than it looks like it's going to.
You had some Surly?
I've had a couple of their beers.
We're definitely Surly fans. We are all about it. the abrasive, furious,
Yeah, I'm getting I'm getting some of the brown ales too.
nice.
Bender and coffee
Very,
bender.
very good.
And then smoke, and you get a bottle of smoke.
I've had that before. Is that a yearly release now?
Yeah, yeah, it's out right. It comes out like the end of the year, I think, and it's still out from, I think it's a November release.
Okay, I've received one of those in a trade before. I didn't ask for it, it was just like an extra.
Yeah,
Right?
they're
Best extra
Yeah.
ever, though. You know, the first Revolution brewing I ever got was an extra. Somebody had sent me a set of beers, and there was one can of white can with red print Revolution brewing.
I had a couple of
It was a pale ale, and it was really, for a pale ale, it was very hoppy, it was very clean, it was very crisp, it was very good. And the guy that I trade with now, the guy from Craigslist, the guy from Creeplist,
Yeah,
sent me a whole box of Revolution Brewing. He sent me like, there's a Warrior IPA. I
their
think.
anti-hero IPA is.
Oh, that's what it
Really
was.
good.
Yeah, it had the anti-hero.
They're
Really with the fist, right? It's all got
Yeah,
the fist on there.
yeah.
Phenomenal. And
Yeah.
they have one that I saw on I think it was New Brew Thursday had it. No, it was one of the shows I watched had it. And it's called Red Skull. And so it's like a skull hand. And it's a red IPA.
well, they have
Totally want to try it.
they have a limited release series, and we had one of them. It was their Very Mad Cow. It was a bourbon barrel aged
Yes.
milk stout.
Nice.
And that was
Very
excellent.
Mad Cow.
Because they have Mad Cow, which I think is just a regular milk stout, but then the Very Mad Cow is bourbon barrel aged milk
I have
stout.
to be honest, I like the milk stout styles. I
Yeah.
like that where they use it's a
I believe they use lactose sugar
lactose
to
sugar.
get
Yeah,
that creamy
thank you guys
texture.
for
So
saving me. Yeah, it's a lactose
creamy,
sugar. It
velvety.
just creams it out. It's very velvet. You guys ever had velvet Merlot?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's that very just velvety, smooth, without having to go oatmeal. Because usually oatmeal is what does that to that.
You know, Three Floyds has an IPA they make with lactose sugar. The
Nice.
Apocalypse Cow.
We might have
Yeah,
to
I haven't
have
seen
that.
It comes out, I think, in the summertime, like June or July. And next time around, I'm going to get my hands on some.
We're going to have to get our hands on some more Three Floyds and Founders.
We get Pipeworks. I mean, we got to do some
Pipeworks.
Pipeworks, man. I got a couple of
They do
Pipeworks beers at home.
The Ninja versus Unicorn.
Yep.
Unicorn
That
Blood.
is an amazing beer, man.
I need to have those just because of the name.
Well, I mean,
That's what
the Ninja versus Unicorn is a double IPA, and it's excellent. I mean, it's up there with like Dreadnought. I mean, it's that good.
Dreadnought was.
Yeah.
This though, right here, especially now, it's so mellowed out, right? It's like getting kind of fruity and just smooth. It seems like the pine is kind of coming out. Maybe I'm getting used to it.
Yeah, I think it's. No, you're right. It is definitely mellowed out.
Yeah, it seems like it's mellowed out
a
once
little
it's
bit.
warmed up. And that's something else I learned from this show, from doing this show. I was freeze my glass, chill my beer, pour them together.
Right,
drink
beer
it as well.
changes.
Yeah, I've learned to beer changes. Thank you. Right now, this is just top tonight. This is an IPA and a brewery and a brand that we're definitely going to look at in the future.
Most definitely.
We definitely want to shoot an episode with this. We're definitely going to send this to their website and their Facebook,
yeah.
and we're going to credit you on it and the links, and we're going to say this trader brought it to the table for our web show, and we want to shoot with them again.
Yeah, I need to go down there and actually pick up some kegs. Believe it or not, whenever I have people going through Albuquerque, they'll go down there and pick me up kegs from the coolers. So I've had like 3 or 4. Cheers again, Kevin. Thanks for the beer. Whatever you want from California, just give us a holler and we'll send it to you.
We'll make it happen. Cheers, guys.
Amazing.
Welcome back. Still here, Beer Culture with Trooper and Jose. I'm still Justin, and
I'm still Trooper.
right now we're. Where did you get that name?
That's a long story. That may take more than one beer. But the point is, I don't know what the point fucking is. Let's talk about this beer.
Okay.
This is one of Jose's homebrewed IPAs.
Yeah, this is, I was listening to, I think it was Can You Brew It podcast. They were doing a Kern River Brewing Company Citra double IPA. I based this recipe loosely on their double IPA recipe. I made it a single IPA. So scaled down the malt a bit, a little bit on the hops, but kind of tried to use more or less the same hopping schedule. I substituted a couple hops that weren't available to me at the time. But
So you brought down the malt body, which brought down your sugars, which brought down your ABV.
right.
But you maintained your hop profile, which kept your aroma, your bitterness.
Exactly,
and
that's exactly
your
right,
palate.
I think
That's why this is such a big. This is like up against that IPA we just had,
Right.
which was.
that's a tall order to fill. We shouldn't even.
No.
We should
Honestly,
drink this first.
yeah, that's a phenomenal, IPA. But brother, that's got a lot of the same palate filling, and it's in there. It's very aromatic. It's great.
Yeah,
It's got a great citrus, a great pine note behind it.
Yeah, I think the Kern River beer had a original gravity of like 1074, 1075. I think mine was 1060,
It's known as
1062 or
OG.
something like that. OG.
Yeah, I've never had the Citra from Kern River.
Yeah, it's an amazing beer.
Is it?
Yeah. One of the better double IPAs out there.
I entered the little lottery thing they do
Yeah.
to try to get some this year. And
A couple years ago, one of my buddies was able to buy it at Whole Foods in Pasadena, and he gave me a bottle. I had never had it. I had read about it, and he was like, "Oh shit, Whole Foods had some, and he saved me a bottle."
And it was phenomenal.
It was awesome.
Yeah, I've had their just outstanding IPA, and for a single IPA, it's like 6%. I mean, that's an amazing. I mean,
Nice.
the name says it all, man. It's outstanding. It really is.
Very cool. Well, this young man is pretty outstanding. Like just drinking this right now, and drinking the beers that you bring as a trader. We're gonna get one of these hop farms to sponsor us, and then we're gonna come to you and say, "Here's the hops we have. What else do we need?
Looking forward to
Let's
it,
brew a
yeah.
beer." And we're gonna brew a beer with you. And I think the next beer we want to brew is a stout. We want to brew just like a super awesome oatmeal stout.
That was the beer that Shmi and I brewed was an imperial stout, and it came out amazing because we added chocolate and coffee and bourbon oak chips and some vanilla to it, and it was. I was.
But
Did you guys put it in Schmitty's barrel? I think he has a couple barrels.
No, we just ended up using some bourbon oak chips.
I like that.
It was.
But I like Jose's idea of let's tone the malt base down. Let's get it down into a 7.5. But let's keep that hop profile. Let's keep that chocolate, coffee, wood chip profile up there. You know what I mean?
Right.
Let's put all that flavor in there. Let's bring that ABV down so it's very enjoyable and it's very sessionable. I guess that for us guys, that's sessionable, right? We're like 7.5. That's a very sessionable beer.
Yeah.
Everybody else is like, this is a 4% beer. It's pretty sessionable.
Yeah, right.
We're like,
Compared to
I could drink that and work 14 hours
13,
straight.
14%
Yeah.
imperial stouts. I'm used to
It's not sessionable to be Serendipity. It's awesome.
Yeah, no, that's one of those beers. I don't know if I could stomach more than a pint of it.
1 pint. That's a 1 pint.
It's got that tartness, and it's just kind of leaves a little heartburn after it's done. But I don't know if I could drink more than a little glass of that.
Sours, big stouts, porters, they're all 1 pint for me. I always fall back to like light IPAs or heavy IPAs. That's what I drink the most of. But I think I'm a 1 pint guy for everything. Like when
there's too many beers to try.
Yeah, when you go in my fridge,
Yeah.
like look at this guy's fridge, look at your fridge. We're all like, we're just used to not drinking the same beer
Right.
twice.
Welcome back once again. We're here with Trooper and Jose still, and right now we're drinking Marshall Zhukov Stout from Cigar City.
That
Holy
is.
shit, that is good.
Did you just cuss on camera? That's the first time you've ever done that. It's short 6 episodes.
I like to keep it respectable.
But that's an admission to the quality of a beer. Because holy shit, that's really good.
And it's got that roastiness at the end.
Okay, off camera, everybody's trying to keep us checked in on Untapped and everything else that we do. Because we use Untapped. We love social networking and keeping it driving.
I mean, because I use it mostly to keep track of what I've had and to keep, to kind of base what I thought of the beer and whether I would have it again or not.
Kind of like a day-to-day.
Yeah, because there have been many times it happened at the system tasting on Tuesday with the Nikasi Believers, that Imperial Red Ale. I was like, I've never had that before. I've been interested to try it. Let's open it up and see how it goes. And I did it, and I'd already had it before, and I completely forgot about it. But once I brought it up, I looked at my rating and I thought, this is exactly what I thought of it back then, or what I think of it now is exactly what I thought of it back then, and it's good for keeping track, because especially on nights like those where we're 15, 20 beers, it's just, like I said, it's really good tool for keeping track of what you've had because, you know, when you're drinking so many beers, it's just, there's no way you're going to remember everything and remember what you thought about it. This is...
One of my favorite things about this beer is the head on it. Look at this, like, it's almost like an orange rust color.
Yeah.
That is a
The camera
beautiful
can
color.
get you don't need to get a zoom, but like, it's just amazing.
That's a pretty impressive imperial stout, right?
Imperial Stout, 11%.
Wow. I've only had a couple of beers from Cigar City. I had them with Sarge, Ralph Sargent, times that he's had it before. And they're pretty good. They're both, pretty impressive. But I look at the ratings. I always look at what's trending, what's looking very high, what's looking very low. And I know Cigar City always trends very high. But that's really impressive. The mouthfeel is extraordinary. The coating of the palate is top notch. The roastiness.
See, the roastiness is kind of subtle, I think. I'm getting more of like the dark fruit, like figs, plums, prune,
I don't get the roast.
dried cherries, and
I don't get the roast until the end, like on the finish.
It's very on the
You get
finish,
the roasty kind of aftertaste a little bit.
Mhm.
I mean, it's not, it's not like overpowering, but that's where I get the
Yeah.
roast. But yeah, I get the dark
But there
fruit
is a
on the
pretty
taste.
phenomenal fruit base. Now, is there fruit in that beer?
no.
Or is that's all from the grain?
Mhm.
It's all from the specialty grains.
And that's an amazing thing, When we talked about this, we talked about doing the stout with Aaron from the Beer Goddess. People get into like a beer and they're like, I want it to be chocolate, so I'm going to put chocolate in there. I want it to be coffee, I'll put coffee in there. And I was like, well, you don't really need to do that.
Yeah, you really don't.
If it says chocolate stout, we want it to be a chocolate stout.
Yeah.
And there's too many times you see that in the label and you drink that beer and it just doesn't come across.
Well, it's like the Serendipity we had earlier. It's like the label says apples, cherries, and cranberries.
And it's
And
in
you
there.
taste all three of those in
Yes,
the beer.
absolutely.
It's just, and you don't get a hint of each one. I mean, you get the full
And,
flavor of all.
the freak we had,
Mhm.
it was raspberries and
Cherries,
raspberries,
I think,
cherries.
from that one,
It
yeah.
was very much like it really came
Yeah.
across. Like I really got more raspberry out of it than cherry, but it really came across.
Yeah.
It was very clean.
As it warms up, now I'm almost getting like a vinous character to it.
Mhm.
Kind of like a red wine, a little bit of tannins coming out.
It's a crazy beer. I like it.
And you said this is the base beer for the Hoonipoon?
This is a base beer for Hoonipoon.
It gets bigger.
And it's, well, it doesn't get bigger. I think the alcohol is the same on the Hoonipoon, but they add vanilla and
Ancho chilies,
Ancho
vanilla,
chilies.
cinnamon, I believe.
yeah, cinnamon. There's something.
And cocoa nibs, or
Yes, coconut.
right.
And it's phenomenal. It is fucking amazing.
Nice.
I mean, it's this good but better because it's got all the extra flavors.
If you can, they're actually making this beer better. Believe it or not,
Yeah.
that happens.
Well, Jose, I gotta say, this could be one of our best episodes yet. I appreciate you hosting us in your house.
Yeah, anytime, man.
Yeah. Oh, it's gonna be again soon.
Yeah, don't say anytime. We'll be back tomorrow.
Yeah.
and the next day. And the next day.
We're sleeping here tonight. We're waking up tomorrow. We're shooting again. So, I appreciate the beer trading that you do.
Yeah.
I know all three of us, and that's the beauty of what brought Beer Culture Webshow together, is the desire to bring beers to where we are that we can't get
Right.
where we are.
And
That's
that's
a
kind of
thing.
like the backbone of homebrewing.
It really
You're
is,
making beer that you can't buy at the store, or
Yeah.
Beautiful. Beautifully said,
you just bring it into your own home by brewing.
Perfectly said. We're either trying to make, trade, or find the beers we just can't get right down the street. We don't want the beer that our friends have. We want the beer that our friends can't find.
Right.
And we want to show them what's up. These are the beers that when you get on the internet and when you get out there and you start searching,
Right.
people are like, oh my God.
Believe
it's
it or
this
not, one of my
beer."
buddies, he was, I guess he read an article about Pliny the Elder, and he knows I know about beer. This guy, he probably hasn't had too many craft beers in his life, but he was like, hey, I heard there's this Russian beer that's pretty good. It's Pliny the Elder. I was like, are you kidding me?
Yeah.
Russian beer? No. Russian River Brewing Company. It's up north,
Fucking
near
awesome.
near wine country. It's not a Russian beer. He was like, oh shit, they had told me it was a pretty good Russian beer that I should look for in the stores.
Russian beer. It's rushing off the shelves.
Yeah,
It's rushing off the shelves to all the beer snobs.
pretty much.
Fucking
I thought that was
beer
pretty
geeks.
hilarious, but you know, he's a rookie and he learned.
You know, people get so hyped
Yeah,
up about that
right.
stuff, and they go out and they just get in search of it in their first year or 2 years or 3 years of being a beer snob. And once they get it, they're like, oh, I have this coveted beer, and we talked about this, they pour it, and they're just like, it's the best beer ever. And then 2 or 3 weeks later, they're like, no, really, it's not that great. It's pretty good, but I was so hyped up. Like, I'm drinking your home brew, and it's just as good as these beers. Like, there's, you know, a Blind Pig going, I think it's pretty fucking phenomenal.
It's pretty good beer.
And Three Floyds bust out. They're not playing around.
You know, I haven't had a bad beer from Three Floyds yet.
No.
I mean, I haven't had,
Founders,
you know, I haven't had
Three
all their
Floyds,
beers,
yeah.
but I've had a good portion.
Yeah,
of
everything
their
that I
lineup.
have.
But I know
It's been
we got,
excellent,
you know, we got beers coming from Foothills, we got beers coming from Founders, we got hops coming from Yakima, we got hops coming from
Willamette.
Willamettes. I say the word wrong, so I chose my
Well, I mean,
Foothills.
like I said, a lot of people say it wrong. Unless you live there, you don't really know how
Right.
it's pronounced properly. But
But we want to do an episode with homebrew. We get the episode with the brewery for the first beer.
Glarus,
The first beer we tried tonight. Or
Glarus.
no, the IPA. The IPA
Oh,
brand.
La Cumbre. Well, it's been a good night. Some good beers.
Yeah, they were
Thanks for having us at your house.
for sure.
Cheers. Thanks
Cheers.
for the beers. We'll see you guys soon.
On the next episode.
Cheers.
Cheers.
What were you talking about? You know, if it says vanilla stout, we want it to be vanilla stout. You know, if it says chocolate, you know, whatever. Chocolate. What does that fucking mean, chocolate? Holy shit. We have to say that whole sentence over. If it said,
Cheers. Thanks for the beers. And we'll see you kids in a couple weeks. Next week. So they're over here.